In today's video, I want to run you guys through a brand new open world mystery title in the Outer Wilds coming to PlayStation 4, and it's coming very soon, actually in just a few days. That looks like a rather captivating game, already released on PC, received pretty well over there, so I want to talk about that game's PlayStation 4 release as it is going a little bit under the radar. Also, everybody and their mother is excited for the Final Fantasy VII Remake that Square Enix is putting out early in 2020, March 3rd to be exact, but what about a Final Fantasy VIII Remake? Well, to remake Final Fantasy VIII, it would actually require a younger staff. We'll take a look at what was said about that. And also, as we are getting closer and closer to the PlayStation 5, more studios are gearing up for the PS5 as Warner Brothers and Hitman developer IO Interactive are gearing up for the PS5. Partnership has been reaffirmed for a brand new project. What could that be? I'll speculate on that, and also I want to round out this video by taking a look at some very good PlayStation 4 game deals. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is down to $19.99 on Amazon, and then there's also a really good deal on Kingdom Hearts 3, so we'll look at that at the end of this video. But first up, Outer Wilds is a mystery game, and it's coming to the PlayStation 4 on October 15th, and it was first released back on May 29th for PC through the Epic Game Store, so it was an EGS exclusive, but now it's coming to the PlayStation 4 as well. It was also released on Xbox One. If you're unaware of what the Outer Wilds is, it's an open world mystery about a solar system trapped in an endless time loop. Welcome to the space program. You're the newest recruit of Outer Wilds Ventures, a fledgling space program searching for answers in a strange, constantly evolving solar system. Mysteries of the solar system, what lurks in the heart of the ominous dark bramble? Who built the alien ruins on the moon? Can the endless time loop be stopped? Answers await you in the most dangerous reaches of space. A world that changes over time. The planets of Outer Wilds are packed with hidden locations that change with the passage of time. Visit an underground city before it's swallowed by sand, or explore the surface of a planet as it crumbles beneath your feet. Every secret is guarded by hazardous environments and natural catastrophes. Grab your intergalactic hiking gear, strap on your hiking boots, check your oxygen levels, and get ready to venture into space. Use a variety of unique gadgets to probe your surroundings, track down mysterious signals, decipher ancient alien writing, and roast the perfect marshmallow. Visually, the game has a really good art style, and again, it was received pretty well when it released on other platforms a few months ago, and now it's coming to the PlayStation 4, going really under the radar, coming out around the same time as so many other major games, but hopefully it still resonates with some people. Again, it is dropping October 15th, so in just a few days, and even the release date was only recently announced, so everything is really coming together for this game at the last minute. The game was released at $24.99 on PC, so I imagine that the PlayStation 4 release will be released at a similar price point. Anything more than $24.99 would probably be a little bit too hefty, given that there are so many games coming out that are gonna be warranting your full $60, that I think a game like this being released for $25 is incredibly palatable, so hopefully that turns out well. Alright, next up, everybody and their mother is excited for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. That is due out March 3rd, 2020. I am incredibly excited for that. Final Fantasy VII is a game that I am super nostalgic with, but what about an idea of a Final Fantasy VIII Remake? I know it's not as iconic of a game as Final Fantasy VII, but Final Fantasy VIII is a game that people still hold in a high place. Some people absolutely detest it, but let's not get into that debate right now. Square Enix director Yoshinori Kitase recently said during a Famitsu interview that was translated by Siliconera that a Final Fantasy VIII Remake would require a younger development team. With the Final Fantasy VII Remake on the way, is this a suggestion that the development team is getting tired or are out of touch? Not quite. Kitase believes that as younger people experience Final Fantasy games, they can evolve them in interesting ways. Final Fantasy VII Remake is releasing in parts, the first of which again drops on March 3rd. During a discussion about the future of Final Fantasy remakes, Famitsu asked Yoshinori Kitase if it's possible we'll see an FF8 remake one day, which he replied, quote, "If the youth that inherits the genres of Final Fantasy can step up and do it, I'd like to see it made." For Final Fantasy VII Remake, the project started from my desire to make Final Fantasy VII with today's technology while I'm still here at Square Enix, so I'd like to see it done by the youth of Square Enix. That's an interesting statement, since again, we do have an older crowd working on the Final Fantasy VII Remake, but for the development team of FF7 Remake, I do believe it's a mix of some of the older staff and some younger developers are also working on it. As far as Final Fantasy VIII goes, it seems like he wants a majority younger development studio working on the game. I don't know why that is exactly. Maybe Final Fantasy VIII is a game that needs to be evolved a little bit. Final Fantasy VII can really get by on its nostalgia, and even that, FF7 has evolved quite a bit. You just see it in the battle style, but I think just from a fundamental standpoint, they want Final Fantasy as a whole to to evolve into the future. Whatever the case may be, let's not dwell too much about that. It looks like they are open to the idea of a Final Fantasy VIII remake, which is rather surprising to me given that Final Fantasy VIII was one of those games that some people liked, other people absolutely hated, and it was one of those games that is seen as one of the weaker Final Fantasy entries. Usually people look at Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy IX as the best Final Fantasy games, but there's that in-between title in Final Fantasy VIII. I believe that FF8 didn't even originate as a Final Fantasy game, and then they kind of just tacked the label on it. Whatever the case may be, Final Fantasy VIII was a game that was interesting. However, some of the gameplay elements left a lot to be desired, and the story was really strange. At times it was good, and then there were times that I was just like, man, I don't know about this one. And the characters themselves were relatively questionable. When you look at the star-studded cast in a Final Fantasy VII or a Final Fantasy IX, and then you look at the cast of characters at Final Fantasy VIII, from a personal standpoint, I don't find them to be nearly as strong. Whatever the case may be, I do think FF8 has a lot of potential, and if they remade it from the ground up, changed up the game in a lot of ways, even from some of the storytelling elements, I do think it could be something standout. And at the end of the day, have any of the recent Final Fantasy games been any more notable than FF8, Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 13? If we're talking about quality storytelling, Final Fantasy 15 absolutely did not have that. I would say Final Fantasy 8 had way better storytelling than FF15, maybe even FF13, if you encompass the entire FF13 trilogy, which became a little bit of a train wreck by the end. Whatever the case may be, Final Fantasy VII Remake is due out March 3rd, 2020, but it looks like they aren't ruling out the possibility of an FF8 remake. However, why are we talking about an FF8 remake after an FF7 remake? What people want is an FF9 remake, maybe an FF6 remake. Again, not to completely crap all over Final Fantasy VIII or crap all over the people that really enjoyed the game, but let's be real, an FF6, even an FF4, an FF9, those are the games that people want to see remade ground up for modern technology. Alright, moving on from that, speaking of modern technology, or rather future technology, the PlayStation 5 has been confirmed to be released in late 2020, holiday 2020, and it looks like more development studios are on board with developing games. The Hitman franchise has swapped hands a bit over the years. Owned by Square Enix for a number of years, development studio IO Interactive broke away from the publisher to become independent and took its IP with it. And then Warner Brothers got involved, offering a publishing deal on last year's Hitman 2. It seems the developer is happy with this arrangement, as it just entered a partnership with WB on another project. It was noted Warner Brothers Interactive Entertainment and independent video game developer IO Interactive today announced a worldwide publishing and distribution agreement to bring a new console and PC game experience to players worldwide. That was said in a brand new press release, and while it's very possible that the developer is working on Hitman 3, given the reception of Hitman 2016 and Hitman 2018, while I thought those games were rather good, commercially it didn't seem like those games resonated that strongly. There is reason to believe that they might do something new. IO Interactive CEO Hakan Abrak says the developers' two studios are creating a new universe, which is suggesting that they might move away from Agent 47, but who knows, if they do have two studios, they could be working on Hitman 3, they could be working on another project alongside it. Hitman is one of those franchises that I think will always have an audience. Unfortunately, due to Hitman 2016's staggered release pattern, I think that did a lot of damage to the franchise, and that was just a little bit unfortunate. But Hitman 2 turned out to be a fantastic action stealth title, so if you guys have yet to play that, I would highly recommend it. But we'll see what that turns out to be. It does look like they're making a game for the PlayStation 5. And lastly, I do want to go over some pretty good game deals available right now. Amazon has got Assassin's Creed Odyssey for $19.99, which has become more of a regular deal, but nonetheless not a bad deal there. And then I do also want to note that Amazon has got Kingdom Hearts 3 for $24.99. Pretty good deal for that as well. With Kingdom Hearts 3, I would recommend you to get the story so far if you've yet to play the Kingdom Hearts games, and the story so far is available on Amazon for $28 right now. That, of course, includes 1.5, 2.5, and 2.8. That is a great gateway to the franchise. Some of those games are a little bit dated, but overall, I think you're going to have a good time with them. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, Outer Wilds coming to PlayStation 4 on October 15th, so a new open world game dropping very soon. Square Enix isn't ruling out the idea of a Final Fantasy VIII remake, but they do want a younger development studio working on that. Warner Brothers and Hitman developer IO Interactive are gearing up for the PlayStation 5, and great deals on Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Kingdom Hearts 3. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.